I looked up this and I'm gonna look at some art that related to real ending. There's this, and I see a little bit of the mirror thingy. Ooh, I love that. I I see love the text and I love the what the artist did there. Okay, now that's just horrifying. Ooh, I love that. I even love the text in the bottom that says the scuba only here for a moment. I see that. There's this in there's a little top corner the silhouette of Micheal with the pink eyes. There's that. Nope. Nope. There's I love that right there. Okay, there's that. What? These two images are just the one is not cool and the other is just okay. Okay. I love how in the bottom corner you see a mirror when Michael opens his eyes, and there's just a little damage in the mirror. Huh. Um. Okay. Let me see if I can find any good ones. I'm gonna put in Deviant Art. Deviant Art. Okay. Okay. Hmm. 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 Wait. No, not that. Oh my gosh, that looks awesome right there. That looks awesome right there. I love that. I love that. Okay, what is this? What is this? Right here. Can anyone tell me what's this? This doesn't even look like Five Nights at Freddy's in this. This doesn't look like Five Nights at Freddy's Dislocation Real Ending in this. This looks like something out of a horror movie ending where the villain takes over the Kira's body, goes home, goes to the bathroom, sees himself in the mirror, and gives a little smile. This doesn't even look like Five Nights at Freddy's dislocation anymore. That image alone. Actually, this is what would happen if dislocation was made into a live-action movie, and the ending was just this. And just imagine if there was a dislocation live-action movie. But however, Coffin did say there was only going to be 3 movies. They're going to be centered on the first, the second, and the third film. That's it. Just imagine if Segregation was a live-action movie, and we get this as a first-person ending, with entering the bathroom. Just imagine if we got this, and that was the last frame before, boom, end credits. Just imagine if Segregation was made into a live-action movie, and this was the ending that you get. And that was the last frame of the movie before end credits. That doesn't look like Five Nights at Freddy's to me. That just looks horrifying in my part, okay? Do you know what this looks to me? It literally looks like I don't know. That is just horrifying. But I still like the image. It's just no. Just no. Okay, I just want to tell you guys, I'm gonna do more of the describe my wacky events again. So back in 1996, me and Lola went out for tornado chasing. And while we were on North Californian Country Road, we saw a huge twister, and then we saw a flying tractor fly in the air. As I drive towards the field, we see a tractor smash in the field, bounce, fly, and then I was horrified when I saw one of its tires coming towards us. And since I was already doing the mom art to protect my sister a little bit, the tire smashed through the windshield, injuring my arm and causing my car and my truck to be sucked up by the tornado and then fall towards the ground. Luckily, me and Lobot survived, only with like debris, like kind of like stuck in our fur bodies. I don't know. 1997. Around January 1997, me, Lobit, Nightmare Mango, and Nightmare Fredbear were after a computer chip that no U.S. defenses could stop it. Then, however, the chip ends up being lands in the hands of Alex Provert, who in the day booby trapped his entire family house, and me a little bit, Nightmare Mango and Nightmare February got so hurt, and we got like arrested because of that. 1999. Okay, I didn't tell you guys before. So if you guys remember you guys remember Alien Ant Farm, there was a music video called Movies, and there was a scene where you see a girl dressed as Violet Beauregard chewing gum and she swells up. Well, the same thing happened. I was chewing gum in the movies while the whole song thing was happening. The same thing was happening. I was chewing gum, and people were telling me to shoot, but I told them to leave me alone. But then I turned blue. I saw, and I was horrified. Then I swelled up in embarrassment, and then I just got like flying across and on top of people in seats. But in the end, by the end of the day, I ended up walling myself back in front of my auditorium, embarrassed. The end of 2000, I was working in Wonka's inventory when taking about boxes when I saw a gum packet, and I took two stickers of gum and popped them in my mouth and chewed. While taping boxes, I noticed my nose was blue, and then my skin was blue. Then when I started to see my stomach swell up, I dropped my tape dispenser, and my body started to smell blueberry juice. But until I was a huge immobile blueberry. But here's the fact. While I was swelling, I saw like a really huge blue stain on my apron. But then when I looked underneath, my belly button had been swelled up and was leaking juice. And I stayed there for 4.5 years. Well, 3.5 years actually. Just leaking or gushing large and large amount, like gigantic, impossible amounts of juice out of my belly. And for the last 2.5 years, I loved it until I got fired by Wonka and the Oompa Loompas, and I got rolled home. 2006, okay. Wait, no, 2009, okay. So me and Lilbit and Puppet and Torchiga went to McKinley, Pennsylvania, since I didn't see a raceway ever since 1999. We went there and watched the cars go. Then, as I was seeing them, I looked at Lilbit and she looked like she's seen a ghost. And then I told her, is she okay? And she started pointing towards things, saying this or that, saying this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen. And then she said that the car's is gonna crash and that we need to get out of there. But then there was a huge fight when another group of people in front of us, which one of them had the same thing, got into a huge fight, and only Bonner, which was our friend, and another guard of the place, and Torchica left, and Lobet left, but me and Puppet stayed. But once the cars started flying and once the cars were on fire and flying towards the stadium, me and Puppet got out while I had my tablet and I was recording that, but I'm not allowed to show you guys that because you know what. I'm afraid it would stop recording there. And then I watched. But then after the guy, the redneck, couldn't come back in to get his wife, a tire decapitated the mechanic wife's head, killing her. Luckily, me and the others lived, but the group in front of us that was in front of us met their fate. So, in 2010 October, on Halloween, I was getting dressed up when I turned blue and swelled up, not completely, as the costume turned blue, and I checked to see if anything in the room they did it, and it didn't, and I spent that entire afternoon as a blueberry karate fox. Now, if I was a blueberry ninja fox, then that would just be, oh my gosh. 2011, oh my gosh, I gotta tell you guys this. So 2011, I went to Canada for a few months, and I had a few or several encounters with Just for Laughs gaps. One of the times I was asked by a man to take a photo with his wife. I did using that like old time photog in camera. Once I saw the photo, once I checked to take a photo, I was disappointed that it only showed the wife's you know what. And I showed the guy, and he was disappointed and called me dirty-minded. And then I asked if I can take it one more time, and he agreed. I took the photo, but only raising the camera higher so that it could capture the guy and the wife, and not the wife's you know what. Then once I took the photo and checked it, it showed it again. I showed the guy and he was more disappointed. But then the guy grabbed my shoulder and pointed towards the camera I saw and told me that I was on that I was on Just for Laughs Gaffs and told me it was a prank. And I was like, "Oh my gosh." Another time I was in the mall looking for directions, and I went to a booth, and I asked one of the info booths guy people to ask for directions or something, and when she her face was just messed up, and I was just like, oh my gosh, and she was just making some ridiculous faces like, you don't know where to go, no? Like, bruh. I was not happy, and I just left before that woman even was about to give me nightmares. Another time, I was asked by a girl a girl to ask me for my directions, but then I got distracted, and then after I got distracted, I looked down and I found the direction. But then when I was about to tell the girl the direction, I looked up, and then all of a sudden I saw the girl turn into a cardboard cutout, and I was in utter disbelief. But then the actual girl came along, and then some crew came along and pointed at me and told me that I was on Just for Laughs Gas, and it was a prank. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you serious? And then another time, this was the last time, I was in the mall and I saw a photo booth. I went in, I sat, I put the coin in, I posed, and once I was about to get out, a small man, a little man photographer came out, and I was scared. I was trying to defend myself, like doing this, but the little photographer took a photo and then gave me the photo. I looked and I was like, thanks. And he said no problem, and I went out of that photo booth. But once I was out of the mall and I looked, and in one of the corners, it showed it was a tiny logo of Just for Laughs Gas. I'm like, oh my gosh, it was a prank, wasn't it? And I knew it was a prank before the crew came along, you know? And then after that, I just left Canada before I can encounter more pranks or being pranked again. 2012, 2016, it was basically me going to the movies, not paying attention, and getting consequences for it. But however, one of those times was when me, Loba, and Yendo, along with three others, went to the movie to see both the 1971 and 2005 Charlie Chocolate Factory and Willy Wonka. And we went to 3 separate rooms. But because me, Yendo, and Loba were using some annoying behavior, we got turned into blueberries, and our partners had to roll us back to Circus Baby's entertainment facility. And once we were back to almost our normal size, but much bigger, everyone told us to explain, and we explained. There was even one time where I was watching a movie, and a texter was annoying me. It was annoying the theater. But then a brick came along and smashed in his skull and left her dead. Oh my gosh. Then in 2014, on May 2014, a little bit, so that I was paying attention to everyone else but her, so she became yandere. And whenever I was out of sight, she stabbed my friends till they were unconscious. And then, till there was no one left but me, as she said the infamous quote, "If I can't help you, no one will." But then I stopped her and told her the definition of what that means. I even predicted Jeffy throwing the TV in the lake because he couldn't play Fortnite anymore. And then after throwing the TV in the lake, Mario said, "You threw the TV in the lake." And then he said, "I threw a TV?" Meaning he was very stupid. But relating to that, RIP SML. Yeah. SML, yeah. I don't want to go too much into detail, but somehow Nintendo forced SML to just delete their channel altogether and make a new channel and just force them to just I don't know. But oh boy. But then, as I was explaining, she awkwardly plunged a knife into my body, and I looked, and she awkwardly, repeatedly stabbed me, and then she said, "Awkward." A month later, after watching too many yandere similar videos, I became yandere and stabbed everyone. But then, as I was stabbing for the Foxy, a little bit caught me, and I hit the knife behind my back, and I started sweating as she asked me questions. But then she realized the truth and made the SpongeBob face. When SpongeBob realized, you like cry face, don't you, Squidward? You guys know the face. You guys knew the face. And then I gave up, and then she said, I eventually gave up, saying I was just overprotective, and she said, "You got this from Yandere Sendler, did you, Green Foxy?" And I said yes. And then she said, "Well, we're both Yanderes," and then we stopped by the Foxy and watched Yandere Sendler videos together. Then by October 31st, 2014, a week ago, I got bit by a vampire. And then on Halloween 2014, me and Bonnet, since she was much younger than me, we went to Swellview. Yeah, Swellview. And we went to Henry Hart's house. And then, right when they were about to go inside, but I interrupted and I told Henry, which was really that is it too late to trick or treat? He's like, oh no. And I brought Bonnet and I told him that me and Bonnet got a late start, or a very late start and stuff. And he was about to go inside and grab the candy when Piper, who was really young, stopped him and looked at Bonnet's outfit and saw that she had the same outfit as hers, which was a Jonathan Swift. If you've seen Jazz for Danger, you know that Piper was supposed to get a Taylor Swift costume, but her dad actually got her a Jonathan Swift one. So then Bonnet and Piper left the property to go hang out, and Henry told me good luck, and I told him, "Don't worry, I'll keep an eye on my Bonnet and your sister." I'm like, "All right." And then just when we closed the door and it looked like no one's looking, I faced to the exit of the porch, and I uncovered my hoodie to reveal the bite wound on my neck, and then I grew vampire fangs, and my eyes went to black with my pupils red as I literally kept a close eye. Remember the Jasper Angel ending where the dad faces the camera, presumably the exit of the porch, and his eyes go to werewolf eyes? Yeah, that. And then as I was standing there for a minute, just like that, just like Jace or Henry knew something was wrong with me, and he went outside and told me what was I doing, and I lied. I said nothing, and then I eventually told him the truth and what happened, and he just agreed. And then we waited, and in the middle of that, we took a selfie, which is still then once Bonnet and Piper came back, I went back to normal and I covered my wound. Henry or Jace put the candy in Bonnet's bucket and we said goodbye and started to leave. But then I turned my head to Henry and Piper or Jason, and I then grew the vampire fangs again, and my eyes went to blocking red. And I smiled at them like in the thriller ending. And let's just say, little did I know that I actually traumatized those kids. The, the that actually traumatized Jace Norman and Ellen Anderson. Yeah, I literally traumatized. My vampire eyes and vampire fangs literally traumatized those kid actors. So yeah. Then 2015 I don't know, I don't remember. Oh wait, yeah, I remember. January to 2000 to June, I was minding my own business in January 2015 when I tripped and fell down a wall and fell down a huge glass container, clear container. And then the lid closed permanently, and then the container filled with gas, and it caused me to turn blue and swell up until my arms were really huge, and then the swelling stopped. And I was forced, and the worst part is that the bottom and top were filled with that had like concrete on them, and the container was soundproof. And I was stuck there for 6.5 months. 6 months. And there were other people there. That's the same thing. And a couple of brothers who had the violent 1971 and 2005 outfit too. And then after just like 6 months and 2 weeks, and I looked and I was at the top finally, and the lid was open, and I climbed out and ran back home. 2016. Okay. On on May 2016, I was playing Joy Creation Report on my tablet in the Ignited Foxy level, and once I got jump scared by Ignited Foxy, I all of a sudden got trapped or sucked in like Jumanji, and was in the game as Ignite Foxy. And that before then and after, Phantom Freddy became Ignite Freddy, and Rockstar Bonnie and Never Chica became Ignited Bonnie and Chica. We were stuck in there until Corey Kenshin played the game, and each level he beat freed me and my friends. But except Nightmare Chica's, but she still got out of the game. Because little did Corey Kenshin know once he started recording, little did he know when he started recording his first playthrough of that game, little did he know that he was gonna be a hero. Little did he know. So, if you're listening, Corey Kenshin, I'm so glad you freed me from that game. Sorry. So, anyways, October 2nd, 2016, I was dared to literally be a parent child. And I had to go to another island, which I never go to ever again. And after a month, the parents got a babysitter, and let's just say she was a vampire. And if you remember Fred's song, My Babysitter's a Vampire, me and that babysitter had a cat and mouse game. Until I was cornered by her and got bit, and then I went unconscious. Once I woke back up, I was a vampire, and I got my things and started running out, but the vampire was chasing me. Luckily, I got out and told all the neighbors to just get the frick out of there and move to to somewhere where they couldn't hear or be far, far away, but still be on the island. And the FBI and the police just completely blocked the house and locked all the doors and all of the windows and completely covered the back side of that island in just indestructible caution tape in the surface underneath so that the vampire babysitter couldn't get out. And then I spent 2 days in the island, and then I went to the front of the island, saw a speedboat, and I put my hoodie on and traveled back to Torstency Island and walked back to the 19th city and never came back. Legend says that the vampire babysitter is like still in that house, destroying that house for all I know, and have gone full brain dead. So, yeah, I've never been to that island ever since. Well, except for the front island, except for that, so, yeah. Except for that. 2017, oh my gosh. 2017 was a crazy year for me. So, January 5th, 2017, after vacations, me and Fred and Freddy were technicians at our own place, and after surviving the 5 nights, go see my story time. Once we were in the scooping room, Fred and Freddy told me we had to do rock, paper, and scissors, see who goes in the scooping room. And I lost, and I went in the scooping room. And then after Handu got cut off, Circus Baby start talking, and then the second she said for the fray, I looked and I saw for the fray crouched down next to the door, dead. 6 stab wounds, keep in mind, as I was horrified, and I was horror as if I realized as if Freddy was dead by the time we entered that place, and that I was hallucinating, as if my eyes were now like. As my eyes were now seeing him as a robot or something, I don't know. That I went back to the spot and Circus Baby kept talking and saying that all of them were there except for even for the Freddy was there. And then Ennard, it was actually Ennard, and I looked up and he said the same thing, and then all of a sudden he said that he pretended to be my friend, killed all my friends, and that he will kill me. Then he said the scooper only hurt for a moment and told me bye-bye, Green. The scooper alarm started beeping and I started praying. As each slow beep, there was a dark voice in my head saying, then by the time I said amen and opened my eyes, the scooper activated. I was in tears. I saw Ender there laughing like a maniac, which was actually Rambo. Actually Rambo. And it's imaginary from the time possessing him. If you know Rambo, you know him. I looked down and I saw the scooper in my belly had scooped me, and then once I let go, my intestines start falling out of the long gash. And then I dropped to my knees and whispered, "Why, Ennard?" And I crouched back down against the wall next to the door at the exact same place, in the exact same position, like for the Freddy, and I died before saying the last words, "Bye, sisters. Frick you, Ennard." And I died. But somehow my hearing worked as, oh my gosh. And then after 2.5 hours, I heard the Among the Restless theme play. I stood up, walked to the bathroom mirror in the bathroom I'm in, and I put a hand on the mirror, and then I opened my eyes by the time the music stopped, and I was in shock because my eyes were glowing like I am my arm right now, because my eyes right now are really, really cool. They're like, they're really glowy. They're awesome. If I was my human version, it would be more, you know what? It would be more cool. Um, um, and, after a minute of silence, I heard Freddy say, "Do you like it?" I smiled and gave a thumbs up and told him that I liked him, but then I saw him really, really horrified and looked in the mirror. He pointed to some everyone in the mirror. I looked at my reflection and told him I told him what was wrong, and they seemed more terrified. But little did I know that somehow my reflection became a silhouette and foreshadowed him getting betrayed by Yendo. June, however, I was on a mission, a NASA mission with 7 more astronauts to go to the moon. And while I was exploring the moon, a woman, no protective clothing, told me what kind of creature was I, and I said a fox, and she said just a fox, and she noticed my oxygen supply and bag and tried to grab them. But then I ran, but she made it much slower and her faster, and then she used her hand to do this. As my body started inflating and I dropped to the ground, as I saw my body expanding, but then she saw as my body was spherical, as I was almost immobile. I stood back up and told her why did she do it, and she picked me up and faced me in a direction at the entrance of the place I am in right now, and she threw me at full force. Alright? And then midway, I stopped, I paused time, took some photos, unpaused time, then a pod came, and it was Charles and Henry, and they told me that they were about to save me, but I told them that I had another way to get back to Earth. They left, and then after 8 minutes, I continued falling, and once I hit the ground, or the grass, I went unconscious. And then when I woke back up, I went inside the phonitorium, I dropped my helmet. My friends were shocked. Loba told me that my suit might inflate. I lied. Went to the cat's side on the couch. Told on the news, but after the news, told the truth. She questioned me. I lied. I told her the truth. Took the soul off. My friends were shocked. I told her I quit. November, however, you guys already know this. Sum it up. Well, remember I was the third ticket winner, right? And in the inventor room, Fry introduced us to the third course meal gum, right? And then I didn't believe that there were consequences in the gum, and he warned me, but I didn't listen, or I disobeyed, as Frey said, or Foxy said. And I chewed the gum, said all the ingredients, including blueberry pie ice cream, and then I turned blue. Everyone was shocked. I was worried, but then I enjoyed it. Swelled up, enjoyed my song, got juiced, and got then a second consequence by eating some blueberry jelly beans. Then was force fed by Mangle of some blueberry flavored fizzy lifting drinks without me flying up. I became human, spent 18 weeks in the adventure room, and came back, and I had an amazing time. Even playing FNAF 6 there, wow. 2018 March. So Golden Freddy had this allergical, right? And I was like Yuri, who was first shy and it was cool, but then somehow Golden Freddy resetted the week and made me super obsessive with a girl that I cut my arm several times with a knife, and even stabbed myself 3 times with excitement because she accepted my confession. I went unconscious, but when I woke up, when I was bleeding more, and once Golden Freddy and the girl went back in the room, somehow the other two were alive, and we yelled at him. Okay, next was June 4, 2018. Me and Nightmare Mangle were, mobile blueberries, right, in the Fundamentorium, and get this, the Murphy Law Enforcement cops came and told us that we broke one of the rules. They squeezed us too hard and we exploded, but we were fine and they had done our job, and we were blueberry hybrids for 4 days. But then, at the same time, 4 days later, they got arrested because they severely harmed someone who wasn't good at quick times. Then on June 12th, 2018, I was watching videos and I got sent an email to watch a video. I looked at it and it was a girl dancing on a 1920 stage. Once the video was over, I checked the description and the description read, "Try the receive a dare." I accepted. I tried the dance. Later that night while I was sleeping, I heard the video play. I woke up, pulled the laptop screen up, and there was no one there. I stopped. They were stomping. I went out of the room. I grabbed a flashlight. The stomping became louder. I got attacked. Then 6 or 7 days later, a young, different girl freed me. Later that night, I was teleported out of that laptop, and I was happy I was out. But then I saw that I was human, I was obese, and I tricked the girl. I succeeded. I watched the video, felt lightheaded. I fell on the floor. Then I woke up back up, and I was back to my normal self, but still obese. 2 days later, I was fine. Then by June 22nd, 2018, um 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 me and Numbermanko wore our Willy Wonka costumes, and we went to the Freddy Fazbear Pizza with the boxing room. We checked to see if there was anything important. We saw 2 drinks. We drank it, became blue swelled, not completely. We regretted drinking them. The Oompa Loompas, both versions, same song, got us out. Foxy was mad, but then we tried telling lies, but then you watch Matthew Santo's video on 10 ways to spot a liar. We finally told him the truth, and it became He then told us we were cute and played around with us. Then, once he was done, we went home in embarrassment. On July 5th, 2018, me, Lil Bit, and the others, except for several others, went to Dubai for a vacation. Then after day, we went to the beach, and after buying some sunglasses, I turned around, and I spotted a really huge tsunami, and I told everyone to run. And luckily, we got into the city, but the tsunami struck the city. And I was washed away by the tsunami, but I was lucky. And I got on top of a knocked over building, and luckily after half an hour, the tsunami was gone thanks to Jake Lawson and Max Lawson. And then after that, we went back home. January 7th, 2018, I was on Tinder when I noticed a girl named Alex, and she was a Stickman girl, and she was 23 miles away from me. And I accepted, we got a match, we had conversation, I went to her house, we had a conversation, I drank the 1,000 calorie shake that the shark has and 26 City has. Then she force fed me, I went to the kitchen, she questioned the scoop part, I told her that I felt no pain, I was brave. Then her vampire roommate struck my neck, turned second by blood. I freaked out, went unconscious. The vampire roommate had a huge container of the rest of the liquid they had and force fed me. I woke back up when she left. And I was really, really huge and now vampire, pre-vampire. And then she said, "Can we continue?" And I said no. As I basically, with my vampire speed, I went back home. I was in a bad mood. When I entered the place, I told him to stop, to not talk to me. I sat down a little bit, came in saying what happened. I revealed my eyes, and she's like, "Your eyes are cute." Okay, so you guys know that on September 2018 to the beginning of October 2018, I was invited along with 8 others to save a town by Toy Freddy, saving 70s town, 1970s town, and he sent us each a package of our outfits along with a letter which contained our role, the name of our role, and mine was a Daredevil. I put on during a reaction video that's still up, but if my video was on Twitch, then it would have been deleted. And I went, then you get the picture. Loba got stabbed, I got force-fed bitten, you get a deal. We saved the town. Once we got out and survived, Amlos and Joy Graceffa told Toy Freddy that he and us did a good job. And the cast of that season came up, the main 9 that is. And Guava Juice, however, he was shocked by what happened to me, and he questioned, how did I survive me feeling like challenging? I'm always like, I'm not gonna question it. That was his actual words he told me. He said, I'm not even gonna question it. Okay, 2019, in April 24th to August, mid-August, I was watching videos and I got sent to a portal, and then I ended up being in a Hey Child gotcha story that I thought lasted for the next 30 years. Well, now 31 years, I don't know, maybe 29, I don't know. And on 2050, I believe, I was Adam in the Hey Child story as my own business in the Violet's Kingdom. Then a total portal came, and I was sucked back in. When I came out, I was back in my room, and Foot of Freddy destroyed the pole so that no one can come out of it, and left me alone and let me back. Once I went back up, I was confused and thought I was in 2133. Loba came on, and I told her, was it 2133? But then she told me it was still 2019. As she commented my outfit, she told me she liked my outfit, and I said thank you. Then by September 2019, October 8th, 2019, the same day, Toy Freddy and his friends got back from California from season 4 of the show. On September 10th, I told Loban that I would prove it to her that I would be against Glitch Drop in the game and FNAF VR. However, I lost. I got possessed by Glitch Drop, just like in the end of, well, Darkest Desire. I got possessed, gained a ton of weight somehow. Glitch Drop and Vay had a conversation. She made me into a Marco plushie, took me to the secret passage room, put me on a table in the third room, and then once Glitch Drop once I got out of that trance, I was screaming for days and weeks, screaming for help, but no one came except Brandy, which told me to be quiet. Then on November 8th, several of my friends, including my sister, came and she grabbed me in the plushie, and while she and Glitch Drop were watching Mark getting jump scared by Nightmare Chica for the first time, or getting jump scared for the first time, I screamed for help so loud that it somehow attracted the rest of the friends, a lot of the citizens of the 27th Island, a lot of the Henry Stickmin people, even the gigantic shark, infamous shark gamer, Vanny, freed me, but then Lobot scolded her. She played the music, I went up, everyone was shocked, I paused the music, she told me what songs I would also prefer instead. She played the song, I paused it, I told her to turn around, she did, she was in shock. By the time she was shocked, I paused them and took some photos around the globe. I came back, unpaused time, and me and a little bit hugged, and I happily ever after. But then after that, Phantom Mangle took me to a spinning class, and she recommended me to. But then on my first day, I realized that all the participants, the trainer, even Phantom Mangle, were all obese. It wasn't, since I lost weight. Then after minutes of doing it, of just eating and drinking junk food and gaining a little bit of weight, I fell off. Automatically, everyone became skinny and they were mad. Then the room went red. And then the machine started inflating me as everyone went to some purge crap. And even my friend went into some purge movie crap. As they chanted my name and shouted at me to ride. As they force-fed me through a tube. And then after that, once it all was done, Phantom Mangle and Welcome thanked the trainer, and then the trainer thanked me, Phantom Mangle, and I told the trainer when can I sign up, and she only gave me a free week trial until you know what. And then and then after the free week trial, me and Phantom Mangle went home, and yeah. Then on October 30th, 2019, I got an email from Mark to go to a museum in Austin, Texas, in a museum to rob something. I accepted. I put some clothes on, went to the Austin, met up inside of the island, and just, wow, did the heist. Escaped through a Jeep, fell asleep, successfully stole the box. Then Mark was about to run up the engine when it didn't work. He checked. He was so confused until I was told to get out. I checked. I was confused. The thing exploded and sent me and Mark in a cave. Then Mark got chased by a boulder, and some Indiana Jones guy named Illinois, R.I.P., told me, can we go on adventure? I agreed, and told me to hold a statue, which I still remember. Then, once he told me to turn it and put in the place, I was fixed on the statue, and I refused, as then I was possessed by some cursed monkey god as I was starting to gain some weight, as I refused again and stared directly in the monkey's eyes. I gained weight, killed the guy, then the god took up the clothing and wished for some gigantic clothing, and he got his wish, and he used my body to, he used my body to gain tons and tons of weight. Even, oh my gosh. Then after 4 days, he was done. His soul went back in the thing. Then as soon as I woke back up, I was instantly stuffed. Then I put the statue back on, and I was sad. I went to Monkey Heaven, and I apologized. To everyone, and then the king of Monkey Heaven told me the story of the god that possessed me. Then they gave me a rock and a banana. Then I had the urge to sneeze. Once I did, the rock turned a banana to my surprise. Then I put the diamond in my bag and peeled the banana to find it was a golden banana. I was happy, and I put my feet clothing back on, and threw the other one away. I told Illinois that I succeeded and told him, and I apologized to him but he was dead. I went back and I saw Mark alive because he hid. He was shocked at my appearance, and I went back to Los Angeles. Well, I went back to the Austin, Texas museum and returned the box and just returned it and went back to Los Angeles and then flew back without the plane crashing under my weight. Once I got back to the fundamentarium, everyone was shocked about my appearance as I told them what happened. November 25th, 2019. Okay, while me and everyone was chatting, a magical fridge appeared. We didn't know what was inside, but once we did, we were amazed that it was filled with lots and lots of food, anything we could imagine. We dug in and we ate for hours, but then once the thing disappeared, we were so stuffed in really big, and then I gained 732 pounds. That was my original weight. 2020 was mainly a blueberry year, but it was also a strange year. So February 2020, I was recording a video to guava juice, right? And if you've seen my video, if you guys remember, when in the interview videos, the 4 people like human, his name is confusing, glow stick man, glow detective Pikachu, and Ligma. Somehow they caused my brain to act different, and for me to act strange, and think I was powerful. And then when Guava Juice said, so now we have the blueberry, but then when his timing was off. Somehow the audio timing was off somehow, and it caused me turn blue, panic, swell, almost not completely. And after that, I was played with after I uploaded. I was played around by my friends in the auditorium. Then on June 20th, 2020, so if you guys know Freaky Friday, you guys know him, that it's mainly based on the 2003 film where Anna and Tess switch bodies and they are forced to do stuff like Anna is forced to do like stuff that her mother does, and Tess has to do things her daughter does. And they end up switching back by the end of the film after the rock concert. So after watching Freaky Friday on February 19, 2020, me and Loba got arguments, wish that we would just like be what it would be like to be in each other's shoes. We went to sleep, and when we woke back up, I was somehow in her room and she was somehow in my room. As we didn't know what was going on until we realized that our bodies would switch just like Freaky Friday, and we were forced to participate and do what we usually did throughout the day. But in the afternoon, I realized in my sister's body that I had gaming competition for Bendy Ink Machine, and my sister in my body was forced to go. But then she and my body was scared because, and as she was playing all 5 chapters, and just like in the rock concert scene where Anna and Tessa's body was telling her mother and her body to do something and just try to be brave, and I was doing the same thing. Like I was saying for her mouth, "Be brave, be brave." Luckily, she won. Luckily, she toughened up and won through my inside my body. She got the prize. We returned and we apologized. After explaining to everyone what happened, we apologized and said we didn't really mean it and we were really sorry. We went to bed and a huge earthquake struck the island, but no damage was done. We woke back up and we were back to ourselves. But then we saw Bendy and for the Freddy wishing to do the same we did, and we stopped them from doing so. August 28, 2020, well, so while my friends were gone, I recorded a reaction video, which is still on the channel. And let's just say when I reacted on April 1st, Blueberry, somehow almost everything what happened in the character in the video happened to me. And then after I uploaded the video, I went outside the building all walking around taking photos of every area in the other FNAF buildings I was. Even if JoJo Studios with being outside, when everyone was outside every time. And then I went back in and everyone returned, and when I heard them in front of the auditorium, I walked downstairs for the secret passageway and I went to the 3rd room. Everyone saw me and was shocked, and Springtrap, which I must include, at the same time while I was spun up, he was below me, filming his second part to his FNAF 2 FNAF Mew Review series, and he was concerned. And when he saw, he was like, "Oh my gosh!" He was like, I don't know anymore." And then while I was explaining, I looked behind me, and Jake Stickmin, Henry Stickmin's brother, was blue and waved. And then he said hi to Henry, and Henry said hi back. Then Henry said, "Why are you so blue and big? Why are you so blue and big?" And then he said no reason, and then Jake went back in. Then October 5th, 2020, I was told by NASA to go to space and discover any suspicious activity in each planet. And then Neptune, I went under, and then I was took to an underground facility, which I was drinking a lot of blueberry juice and turning into a blueberry, and I also won a contest, and yeah. And then I ended up being a super immobile leaking blueberry fox, and then I returned back to my spacesuit and flew back up. Then on December 1st, 2020, while in the Zoom call phrase cherry live stream, me and Mango swelled up and in front of the whole world, and it caused a lot of donations and a lot of subscribers and views. December 14th or 15th, well, I had to go Christmas shopping for Christmas, but I already had some stuff. And when I returned back and while wrapping up presents, I swelled up into a blueberry almost. Well, almost completely, yeah. And yeah, that was that. Alright. Alright. This was Green Foxy Scooped. And I will see you next time. Bye bye.